asked me about this. It says a polar function. We have it's -1 plus sine of theta. As theta increases on the interval, which of the following is true? Right, so as we're going away from 0, getting close to pi over 2. Which of these are true? It says the points on the graph are above the x-axis and are getting closer to the origin. The points on the graph are above the x-axis and getting further from the origin. The points of the graph are below the x-axis and getting closer to the origin. The points on the graph are below the x-axis and getting further from the origin. So I really like this. I know you won't have this GeoGebra, but it's really good for seeing what's happened because we can compare the rectangular and the polar coordinates, and then I'll show you how you can use Desmos to do these. But and I think I have this -1 plus sine of theta, right? That was how the question is, -1. Yeah, I got it right there. All right, so we can just watch what's happening here. This graph is, the graph here and the rectangular coordinates is negative and increasing, right? So it's below the x-axis is what I mean by the graph is negative, and the values are increasing. And if we see what's happening here, it's getting closer to the origin when that's happening, right? So when this graph is negative and increasing, it's going towards the origin. And then it reaches this point here. It's at the origin, so when it's on the x-axis, it's at the origin, and then it's going to be decreasing and negative next, right? It's negative and it's decreasing, and that is going away from the origin, right? It's negative and decreasing. It's still going away from the origin until it is at this minimum, right? And now it's still negative, but negative increasing again is coming back to the origin. All right, so when this whole time, sorry, I have to go back to the question here just to make sure. So he says, which of the, we're only concerned between 0 and pi over 2. So let's just switch. Let's switch this to here. So we have -1, and we have the sine of x. We have it as and then we have -1 and the sine of x. Not x. We want theta. Sorry, we want ABCs. There's our theta, right? So here we have what's going on, and we only 0 and pi over 2. We're only concerned from here to here of what's happening. So from here to here, what we have, we can see that this graph is negative and increasing. So that means it has to be going back towards the origin, right? And it's negative. So look, it's negative here on the polar. If I can put this in polar, right? It's negative in the polar when it's negative in the rectangular. And because it's increasing, right, it's going back to the origin. So and we can go back to the regular grid because we can plug it on here, right? We have 0 to pi over 2. This is going increasing, so it's getting closer to the origin, and it's less than 0. It's negative. So let's look at our answer choices now, right? So it says the points on the graph are below the x-axis, yes, and they're getting closer to the origin. So that's what's happening. You said the points on the graph are above the x-axis, but because we can clearly see that the graph is negative, they're below the x-axis. All right, I hope that helps. If not, let me